Hey guys, back with another one. Today we're doing the HRE. Well, we'll be doing mapping as the HRE map part two. Because the last episode of the what if the world was just HRE. We kind of saw since we're only focusing on the HRE, not the rest of the world. So that's why I titled the first one. What if it was just only the HRE in the world? Because I'm only focusing on this. Nothing else out of this is everything else, like these gray borders and stuff, is irrelevant. So it won't be irrelevant, instead relevant. Anyways, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. We're on the road to 200 subs, so if you drop a subscribe, I'll really appreciate it, as I do want to really reach 200 subs by the beginning of March. Anyways, so the first event that will be taking place, or will be continuing, is the fact that a huge war has just broken out between the Czechian Empire and the Square team. I mean, as you can see, yeah, the Bohemians kind of invaded, and they will continue to invade into Prussia for oddly no reason, which Bohemia is probably gonna get cooked because their land is like the biggest, and since they're the biggest, and this time in this way, if you're big, there's a good chance that you could fall apart in a way. Even though in the end all of this will be reunited into one, but that's far from what's happening here. So, anyways, we will see continued advancements from Bohemia as they continue to invade, and the nation that was over here that unified with Prussia. They don't know if they should continue this union. But Prussia says, just stay with us. Stay with us. We can make, we are great with this stuff. We are good at war. Well, we think. But trust me, we can beat the Bohemians back. Anyways, now crossing over to here, we see both of these exclaves over here are gonna be taken over by the sovereign country on the outside of them. Oh wait, this wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, yeah, you just calm down, North Dutch. You don't have to do this. Well, oh well, no. Yep, there goes the second one. Wow. So, Dutch are now actually Dutch, because now they can declare themselves as the sovereign ones of Holland. And now we go over here, you can kind of see that things are not going to go so good, as the Italian Union is just strong for some reason. It's just strong. They have like full armor and stuff, so like they kind of fall apart. These southern these southern nations are pretty weak. So they're just gonna go ahead and cross through them until they reach Milan, that's a different story. But since this was a surprise attack, they're able to make some advancements before they are stopped. But then no need to fear. Venice is here. And Venice just jumps them. Like, Milan is captured. And yeah. Corsica. Corsica just Corsica just leaves the HRE completely. Well, so they think. Actually, I'm not gonna let that happen, because this southern area has just declared independence. So with that breaking away, that is not good. Now it is just Corsica. So that's kind of a bad thing. But now with Bohemia's allies gone, they realize that there's no way that they can survive this. So they just they just conscript this kind of conscript whatever it's called. Yeah, conscript. They script. No, what is it? What is it called? I know it's something like where if you get like where your population goes to war with you. Yeah, it's conscript. So yeah, they go ahead and start the conscript because they need more people in the army because they're dying like bad. But since these guys like with Austria and Prussia working together, they're able to kind of knock these guys back pretty dang far. But on the other hand, Prussia just becomes strong as nationality begins to run through the nation, and the support of the war is at an all-time high. And people, the army is at the highest point of morale. Morale. Yeah, morale. Sorry. Anyway, so uh, we'll be continuing this. Oh, that became. Sorry. Wait, no, not sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so we'll be continuing to see more further pushback over here. And this nation is easily just gonna take care of their exclaves over here. Is this? Yeah, this is there. So, oh, with their areas over here, the orange team is just gonna take care of them. Will take care of it. So yeah, they have nowhere to run. They just have to fight. So they try to conscript again, but their morale is starting to get pretty dang low. So with their morale getting low, things are gonna be looking too good as Prussia is beginning to near Prague. Like, Prague. So they begin to near it. If not, they capture. They near or then they just capture it with their morale. Don't ask how, they just do. And things aren't gonna look so good for them as they eventually try to conscript, doesn't work, and they also try to white peace, also doesn't work. They reject the white peace, so they just fall completely. So with the fall of with the Czechian Empire, because they got too cocky. Anyways, let's just stop the yapping and take a look at this peace treaty. Alright, so this is the first part of the peace treaty where all the nations that Bohemia has ever invaded are now annexed by the following countries as this Blue Nation, Austria, well, not Austria, this Blue Nation and Prussia both gain lands from over here. As you can see, I copied those from this is the beginning of the map. So as you can see, uh, this would be Prussia up here, and they would gain these three right here, and then the blue team would gain their part. Bohemia would lose their part of Bavaria. So yeah, that's all. That's the last time I'm gonna be showing that map, probably. Anyways, stage 2 of the Bohemian Peace Treaty is this. So this is the rest of the Bohemian Peace Treaty. Prussia takes all of this. Austria takes the rest, and this is this is Bohemia right here. So let me go ahead and fill the borders in. Just this, so this is Bohemia now down over here. They're pretty tiny. Originally, I was gonna give this to the blue team, which is now Bavaria. I'm just gonna call them Bavaria, but originally I was gonna give this to Bavaria, but I kind of changed my mind. But Bavaria just keep this little thing right here. We'll give them to that. Now time for stage 3 of the peace treaty, which is everything outside of all this. So here is the Dutch peace treaty where the Dutch kind of annexes all parts of the Netherlands, and kind of sprung has a little tail that comes down here, and these two city states have annexed some of, or the Dutch have gave up some land to these two, because these areas are the same, and this is just one. And let's just finish this. I'm almost done. Let's just get this peace treaty done and over with. Alright, so this is the full peace treaty where, pretty much the Italian Union over here doubles in size, triples in size. Matter of fact, Corsica has to give up this part that was over here, and give independence to this Sardinian area island. On Sardinian island, they had to give up their part, and then this is what they're left with in France, which they're probably not going to exist soon. And I also forgot for them to annex this, because this is the same border. So I'm gonna go ahead. Go. So now Venice is looking pretty strong. But soon they're probably not, because the Italian Union kind of wants to, like, get out all of this mainly, because their whole goal is to reunite the entire area of Italy, which is probably impossible. And we're gonna see a turning point as the Dutch decide to leave the HRE after a long time. They finally decide they just go ahead and leave the HRE, as they have already gotten everything they have needed. I am gonna keep their border. It's just they're gonna stay like that now. So their borders will stay, but they'll be gray now because they left the HRE. Now this is the first country to ever leave the HRE, which is kind of crazy, as now the HRE has grown smaller than what was expected. So now there are going to be like 3 parts to this series, and we're on part 2. So obviously we're going to see nations begin to leave, such as Austria also decides to leave, to focus on themselves. And that's about it. After that happens, there are now 2 nations that straight up left the HRE. And now we're gonna probably start seeing some unification, because we're gonna be seeing some nations that'll be joining up with Prussia. So I guess Prussia grows to be way larger than expected, as like over 20 city states just, or 20 territories are just now deciding to join up with the Prussians. So yeah. I'm also gonna go ahead and cover all of these borders in. So Prussia has just gained massive amounts of land. If they wanted to, they can't. They could leave the alliance, not the alliance, but like Prussia could leave, like the others, but they're not, because they want to be the ones to reunify all of this. They want to be one sovereign nation, but thing is, though, technically Austria and the Dutch are still in the HRE. It's just they've grown out of it. Like Austria, like for whatever, Austria could be out over here right now. The Dutch could be out over this way. Oh yeah, also now let's talk about this. As the entirety of, no, that's probably never gonna happen. Well, I mean it did, but it's not happening here. Anyways, what the next thing that's gonna happen is more unification and more wars, because there will be one final war to unify all of this. Because Prussia keeps on gaining land for some reason. Like It's just a lot. So, yeah, Prussia is the big boss. So, at this point, we're gonna also see the Prussia leaving. They will have stuff to do with the HRE, but with now Prussia also leaving the three major powers left. So now this just leaves this a mess because Prussia will gain more. Will they repeal again? Soon enough, they will rejoin. Wait, why did that sound kind of familiar? Wait, so Austria has now, with Prussia now officially leaving, we see Austria rejoin. Also, all the events with the unification and stuff over here happening. It does not happen all at once. It happens over time. So over time, the unifications over here happen. Over time. With Austria rejoining, because they didn't want to be in the same thing with Prussia anymore, because they still hate each other. So Austria just left. Now since Prussia left, they rejoined. Oh yeah, also we're gonna have to talk about these these three central nations right here. Because they actually form, reform the HRE actually. So this is the new HRE. The brand new thing. Also, you can see Bohemia joined it because they were kind of forced to. Because they like the idea. So the new HRE has risen from the ground. With that happening, many nations, such as a lot of them, rejoin. Because they want to be in the HRE, of course. They want to be back in it. So we're going to see nations upon nations joining this thing. Like, you can see what I'm doing right now. It's a lot. A lot of these guys not this, again, this happens over time. All of this happens over time. This is not, not all happening at once. This is happening over time. I'm gonna say it again, even though I'm kind of being annoying. This is happening over time. So all of those nations over time join. So it's gonna look like this. So, yeah. Now, wait, what's that noise? So Prussia rejoins, but instead, Austria doesn't leave. Because with these amount of nations remaining and one episode left, something huge is on its way. So, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. This is the end of the video, obviously, because I'm doing the outro. Anyways, like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 200 subs. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you in episode 3 or any other video. Goodbyes.